Good morning, students. Welcome back to my channel, Molecular Mysteries. Hope you're following my channel thoroughly. I'm so happy that I'm getting a nice response from all of you, my comments, and also most of them are answering the questions posted in the community tab. So, in the last class, I've already covered the important hormones that have been produced by our body and what are the types of hormones, what are the glands, and where are they situated, right? So, in this class, as you have already seen the thumbnail, this class is all about the excretory system. So, in this class, let's all restrict this class for only to discuss only about the structure of kidney and also the structure and function of the nephron. So nephrons are the structural and functional unit of the kidney, right? So you all well aware of it. So in the next class I will talk about how the urine is produced and what are the things that are present in the urine, like the mineral salts, and what are the excretory material in it, and how do we measure the creatinine, and what is all about the urine. Let's discuss in the next class, because we have to be well aware of the glomerular filter rate, GFR, that is present in the nephron. Then only you can understand how the urine is being produced. Okay, so now today in this class, let's talk about the kidneys. So why kidneys are very important, and why kidneys, are considered to be the vital organs, because whatever the body's toxins are produced, that are to be secreted out from the body only through kidneys. So we, being the mammals, we have either sweat glands or the kidneys to produce the excretory material out from the body. Okay, so this excretory system, like, let's talk about, before I enter into the type of excretion and all, we have, based on the type of nitrogenous waste produced by the animals, we have uricotelic animals, so you have ureotelic animals, and you have ammonotelic animals. Like if the animals like birds, if you take an example of birds, reptiles, and insects, they release the nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid. They are called uricotelic animals. In the same way, if you go for the fishes, like especially the bony fishes, they release ammonia as their nitrogenous waste, right? If you take the mammals and if you take some cartilaginous fishes, they release the nitrogen waste in the form of urea. So in the same way, let's talk about the mammals, how the urea is being formed, and what before that, let's talk about the kidney structure. Okay, for that I'm showing you a video for your for nice understanding. Okay, see, this is how your glands or the kidneys look like. Kidneys are a pair of kidneys that are present at the below of your ribs. Okay, they are present below the ribs and either side of your vertebral column. You have one kidney and one kidney on either side of your vertebral column. So this is how it looks like. Okay, we have a bean shaped red dark colored kidney on either side of your spine below the ribs. This is the location. Okay, and these kidneys open into urethra and thus to urinary bladder, and thus urine is formed. Okay, before that, let's talk about the kidney. We will take the longitudinal section of kidney so that we can see what are the parts of your kidney. Here I am showing you the longitudinal section. Please understand it. See, this is how the kidneys, this is called the urethra, and this is your urinary bladder look like. For your understanding, I am just posting this video. Okay, now let's see how the kidney, inside of the kidney look like, and what are the parts of the kidney. Right, here comes the interesting topic. See, this is the longitudinal section of your kidney. If you just cut open the kidney in the longitudinal section, we'll come across these important parts. This is called the outer cortex. This is called the inner medulla. And each and every body has to be supplied, part has to be supplied with the blood, right? So, how is urine formed? Urine is an excretory system, or urine is an excretory product that is produced, that is filtered from the blood. The water, the blood, that waste that is present in the blood has to be purified. Then only the urine will be formed and it will come out of your kidney. So that is why there should be a supply of arteries and the collecting vessels called veins for each and every kidney. Okay, so this particular kidney is supplied with a renal artery. right? This renal artery would supply the blood to the kidney, where it enters into your outer cortex and inner medulla. This is your medulla part. Okay, and this is called the calyx. Each and every calyx has called the renal pyramid. This, okay, this is the location where your nephrons are present. There are millions of nephrons for each kidney, please remember, because nephrons are the structural and functional unit of kidney, as I told you earlier. This particular renal pyramid has got nephrons in it, where it is, protruded out from your medulla part. So you have two different parts in nephron. I'll also discuss in the coming slide. Okay. So all these renal pyramids, these are each and every calyx has got many renal pyramids, and these renal pyramids have millions of nephrons in it. All the nephrons would release that particular urine, and this urine from all the pyramids would enter into this particular pelvis, and thus finally enter into your ureter. This is how that happens. And here, what is renal vein? I told you the renal artery which supplies the blood to the kidney is called the efferent arteriole, AFFERENT arteriole, that supplies blood to the kidney. And the one that is coming out of this particular capsule, okay, I'll talk that about in the next slide itself. Don't get confused. This is how the kidney looks like. Okay, this is the renal artery that supplies blood to the kidney, and this is the renal vein once it is completely filtered blood, where it is completely devoid of all the nitrogenous waste materials, and thus the urine comes out through the ureter. That is how the kidneys work in short. In the coming slide, I will tell you about the structure of nephron also. So please, for your purpose, I am showing you the structure. Please go through it, because this could be helpful for many students also for their diagram purpose. Okay, so this is how the renal artery is, and this is how the renal vein is. Okay, now see, these are all the nephrons. These are all the nephrons. Each nephron has got a renal artery and the renal vein. So you can imagine how, how cluster of kidney, like kidney is completely, rounded up with arteries and veins in such a way that it is squeezing out the nitrogenous waste from the blood, and thus helping out to release the urine from the kidney. That is how it looks like. Okay. See, these are all the beautiful diagrams for you to understand. Yeah, here comes the important topic of the class. That is called the hero of the kidney, called the nephron. So we have millions of nephrons. Okay, so I told you this is how the nephron look like. This is the renal artery, this is the renal vein. You are pretty well aware of it. So this is called the glomerulus. What is glomerulus? So if you come into a thing like glomerular filter rate, what does that mean? So when you go for a blood sample test to test your creatinine, what is creatinine? Creatinine is a protein that has to be purified by the kidneys. So, if a person has got more and more creatinine in their blood, it says that the kidneys are not functioning well, because creatinine is a protein, right? So, the important proteins have to be reabsorbed properly into your blood. That should happen only in kidneys. And if that is not properly happening, the creatinine won't be absorbed, and thus it will be remained in the blood. So, when the result come out, you will be shocked to see that creatinine is in a higher level, which says that kidneys are not properly functioning. At that time, you can also check the glomerular filter rate. So, what is called GFR. This GFR has got a limits in it. So, if kidneys are working well, I will tell you the ranges also in the next class, because anyway I have talked about the urine. I'll also tell about the urine analysis, everything. And now just remember, this GFR would detect your capacity of your glomerulus. Okay, what is glomerulus? So glomerulus are thin capillaries. See, what happens is, how is urine produced from the blood? Like how is urine extracted from the blood? This is happening in glomerulus. Glomerulus are thin tuft of capillaries. So it starts with efferent arteriole, and this efferent arteriole that is supplying the blood to the kidneys would enter into the pelvis, finally enter into the nephrons. In the nephrons, into the glomerular capsules, you have got very thin capillaries. So the capillaries that are present through, the blood that is passing through the efferent arteriole and coming out through efferent arteriole. Okay, that is called EFF, ERENT, efferent. The one that is entering into the glomerulus is efferent. The one that is coming out of your glomerular capsule is efferent. Okay, so okay, I'm going through the urine sample. I'm not talking about it right now, so I just want to talk about the structure. This is the glomerulus. Please remember that there is high amount of pressure in these capillaries because the blood is passing. For example, if blood is passing freely into a tube, it is freely passing, but you are just stopping that particular tube at one end. There would be a pressure produced in it. So that is how the efferent arteriole has got a lesser diameter of blood vessel than the efferent arteriole. That is how the pressure that is generated in the glomerulus will release the fluid from the glomerular range blood capillaries into the lumen of your Bowman's capsule. So this is your Bowman's capsule. If you observe it, the surrounding area of this glomerulus is called the Bowman's capsule. This glomerulus capsule has got a lumen fluid in it. Okay, so whenever the blood passes through it, because of the difference in the pressure generated, the lumen would start. The nitrogenous waste and the water material, some inorganic salts, some mineral salts, which are nitrogenous waste, would start produced into the lumen of your Bowman's capsule. Okay, that is how it enters into your tubule. This is your tubule. Okay, actually, this nephron is mainly divided into two important parts. This is called glomerulus. The second part called the tubule. This tubule is called the loop of Henle because it has got a U-shaped, or I can say it a hairpin shaped structure, because it has to go through it and come out of it. So this is present in the cortex part, and this particular loop of Henle is imbibed into, or it is placed inside the medulla. I'm just leaving for your imagination that this present in the cortex area, and this loop of Henle is present in the medulla area, and thus there would be change in the proximal convoluted tubule and the distal convoluted tubule. I told you this tubule that is coming out of this particular Bowman's capsule is again divided into proximal, which is at the cortex part of your kidney, and this loop of Henle, which is situated in the medulla part of your kidney, and again it comes out through the distal convoluted tubule. Okay, this final distal convoluted tubule would release the urine out, finally entering into your pelvis. This connects. This is how each and every nephron is connected this way. You have millions of nephrons and you have millions of tubules, right? These tubules will keep on producing the urine, and thus the pelvis will be filled with urine, and finally it comes out from the kidney through hilus and thus enters into your urethra and thus into the urinary bladder. So this is how it happens. See, this is the loop of Henle, I told you. This is the proximal convoluted tubule, and this is the distal convoluted tubule. That is the Bowman's capsule and glomerulus. This is the internal part of your nephron, how nephron looks like. See, this is how wonderful they have explained you. This is the glomerule and this is the lumen. Okay, millions of arteries and veins, right? So this is the glomerular structure in short. I just want to show you. See, this is the Bowman's capsule. This is coming out the tubule, and this is your loop of Henle. And the whole efferent arteriole is wrapped up to the lumen of capsules through the loop of Henle, and thus coming out of your kidney called finally by coming out by renal vein. Okay, these are all the renal veins, and these are all the renal arteries. So this is the tubule that is coming out called distal convoluted tubule. This distal convoluted tubule has got urine in it. Finally, this urine is released into your pelvis. That is how each and every nephron work. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, for your understanding, I am also posting important videos regarding the kidneys. Please go through in the description box. Okay, this is how it looks like. Calyx, pyramids, arteries, renal arteries, nephrons. See how beautifully they have given you. So this is, I told you, this is the glomerular glomerulus. These are the distal convoluted tubule. So that is how it is embedded into the middle of your kidney. So if you cut open the lateral part or lateral longitudinal section of your kidney, this is how it looks like. Okay, I told you these are all the renal pyramids which contain many nephrons, and they have taken the longitudinal section showing the further show of your renal capillaries. Okay, so beautiful diagram for you to understand. I will also give you the theory part in the description for your exam purpose. Okay, so you have already gone through the adrenal glands, right? So if you want to get to know about it, I will also link in the description about the adrenal glands that are present on the kidneys and how it regulate your blood pressure and all. Okay, so that is how the adrenal glands are situated on your kidneys. Okay. Okay, so hope you are all clear with the structure and function of unit of your kidneys called nephrons, how it looks like, where are they situated, how is blood supplied into it. So these are all the structural analysis. In the coming class, I will discuss you how the urine, gets changed into hypertonic, or how it moves into hypotonic, how it changes itself, and how homeostasis is being maintained in the body, and analysis of urine analysis is very important. So because you will get to know what is the percentage of creatinine, how much creatinine should be there in the blood, or sorry, in the blood after the test, and what is the GFR, and this is helpful for you to have an awareness when you go to the blood clinic, right? So whenever you come to know about creatinine, it should remind you that creatinine is a protein, and kidneys will help you whether they are functioning well or not, right? So thank you and have a nice day. Hope I am clear with the class. Thank you.